reason to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel.
You are listening to WQNV, AM 1060, WQNV, FM 93.5. Austin Taylor with you. Coach Larry Bradford with you. Coming to you live from the Courthouse Square. Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Good afternoon. Isn't it a nice, brisk day?
It is a brisk day. We've been visited by carolers. This is the Visit Humphreys County Carolers featuring Ranger Bob and Ranger Noah on vocals. They are providing background noise and music for us in the moment. Works out real well. Come on down. The Christmas parade's going to kick off here in a few minutes. We're broadcasting live. I know what you're saying. You're going to do a parade on the radio. Have I got something for you, Coach? You ready for this?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You can visit the Facebook page of Michael K. Hewitt, and you can watch the parade be streamed and listen to us do that. Guys, thank you very much. We appreciate that very much. I even got your name right, so it worked out well. Thanks, guys. No, we appreciate it was Visit Humphreys County Carolers there, Ranger Bob, Ranger Noah there, and friends singing. They're going on and caroling today as we get ready to kick off the parade and stuff like that. But you can go to Facebook, the Michael K. Hewitt page. You can watch the parade being streamed live and keep the radio on. You can listen to us do all the description and stuff like that. And if I could ever get my notebook, I might even be able to tell you what's going on today, guys. That's cool.
Yes. They're strolling carolers. They're going all up and down the parade route.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this.
In period 1800s clothing.
Clothing, yes. They're working out pretty well. But no, Austin Taylor, Coach Larry Bradford, and Donnell are all here to cover the parade for you again this year. We're looking forward to it. Michael Hewitt taking care of camera work for us. We appreciate him very much. And we're live on the Courthouse Square. This is cool. They got food vendors out here this year.
Somebody has, and it smells good.
We got food vendors out here this year. We've got a good-sized crowd forming. And we've got, if the numbers are correct that they gave us, they've got a very large parade going on this year. So we should have a lot of different things to talk about this year. We know that the Waverly Central High School Marching Tigers are going to be here today, right?
Oh, yes.
And if you're really in a parade mood, here's what you can do. You can do a double header. You know, it's like a double feature. In the old days, when you go to the movies, you get to see two movies for the price of one. You can come up here and see the Humphreys County Parade in downtown Waverly, then immediately go to McEwen, and at 4 o'clock, they have the McEwen Christmas Parade down there. So you get to do a twofer.
Have time for a lunch break in between.
It works out real well. So it's all Christmassy. Last Thursday evening, we had the official lighting of the Christmas tree, kicking off the Christmas season here in Humphreys County. If you got a chance to see that, we were impressed. It was an impressive ceremony. And the programming today is being brought to you by certain sponsors. We'll take a moment and thank some of our sponsors who made things possible today.
DNC Auto Parts, Eastbrook Animal Clinic, Chemours, Apex Bank, Humphrey County Funeral Home, Family Dollar Store, and Humphrey County Utility District. We thank all these sponsors for sponsoring today.
And we appreciate the sponsors and all the support they give us and things like that. And as always, we appreciate our listeners tuning in as we move into the Christmas season. Christmas music beginning to pop up on WQNV. Coach, you were commenting a little bit earlier. You'd heard somebody commenting on one of the Christmas songs or something like that.
Yes. On WQNV, they were talking about the history of one of the songs.
And so we're going to be doing a lot of that. We've got several programs that are specializing in talking about the songs. And we also have this year, again, those featurettes where we're bringing up popular Christmas songs to give them the background and things like that. Like Gene Autry. I mean, Gene Autry owned the Christmas song genre for years, starting off with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and then Frosty the Snowman, and just kept progressing on and like that. And, of course, Bing Crosby's classic White Christmas.
White Christmas.
And do you know what the other Bing Crosby song that is famous during the holiday season?
Well, you had Happy Holidays.
Yeah, you did.
And Holiday Inn, all from one movie.
But this one was a duet.
With Danny Kaye.
With Danny Kaye. This one was a duet, though, with one of the most odd rockers of the 70s. Do you remember that one?
I do not.
David Bowie and Bing Crosby teamed up for a duet. Let's see. Bing Crosby was singing Little Drummer Boy, and David Bowie didn't like that song, so he was singing another song. They were doing it in harmony. It actually worked out pretty well. It's kind of a classic tune. It pops up every once in a while in some of our programming. And of course, beginning Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock and going right through midnight Christmas Day. We got nothing but solid Christmas music here on WQNV. So we'll get you through the holiday season with some great programming and some great music. And we appreciate all our listeners and very much. We're waiting for the start of the parade. We're seeing flashing lights way down the road here. So we know in a few minutes the parade will be kicking off and we'll be getting things started. And like that, Coach, are you ready for the Christmas season? You got little ones now, grandkids and stuff like that.
Yes, I have 2 in Dresden and 1 in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Very good.
And of course, I don't spoil them any at all.
Well, of course not, But I did think that the full-blown airboat for the one in Louisiana was a little much for how old is she now? What? 18?
She's about 2.
18 months, 2 years old. Very good. And is that the one that was doing the duck ride?
The one that was doing the duck decoys for her daddy is the oldest one in Dresden.
Coach has got a great video of his grandkid out there putting out duck decoys. It's really kind of cool, getting ready for duck season. And
he's already talking about taking her to deer blind and seeing if she can be quiet enough this year. At 2.
Just tell him not to see that Disney movie, and she'll be fine with that. They blocked off Highway 13 north and south, so we know the parade route is about to begin. In case you have not realized, normal route. We're going in the normal direction. They're going to stage down at the First Baptist Church at 300 East Main Street. They're going to come down Main Street and they're going to finish up the Dollar Tree parking lot. That's where they'll wrap things up this year. So if you're planning on going to downtown Waverly for the next 45 minutes or so, I suggest you put it off because it is going to be impossible to get a car down through there.
Not get downtown anyway.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. And like that. Coach, we do this every year, but what is your favorite Christmas song? Everybody's got a favorite Christmas song this time of year. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Do you hear what I hear?
And which is a good one. Mine still, I think will ever be. It's a kind of a toss-up. Traditional is Nat King Cole and the Christmas song. Then modern is Paul McCartney's Christmas Time. I like that one as well. So I like that. But and of course, at this time of year is when you finally get to see all those movies you never get to see. Outside of the fact that Hallmark has been going 24 hours a day with Christmas movies since 2 days before Halloween, you get to see real Christmas movies like It's a Wonderful Life. And I think they're going to be showing that at the Mardi again this year on the big screen. I believe so, if I understand that correctly. And I love our camera guy down there. He's trying to keep everybody out of his out of his frame. It's funny. But it's... you haven't lived until you see the kids hear the sirens and they immediately push out because they know the candy's
start
candy. That's what they're waiting for. You know what's going to happen. Happens every year. And I like the one year they banned candy on the parade route. It did not go over well. And the next year it was all back and stuff like that.
Well, we're fairly safe this year. The firefighter in New Johnsonville that tries to hit us every year is not here today.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's one of the reasons why we're back up here on the steps because they pelt us down there. What we're waiting for is the opening, and as usual, the opening is supposed to be the Boy Scouts with the banners. The local Boy Scouts will be here carrying up our welcoming banner that should be coming up in a few moments. Of course, the Boy Scouts were founded in 1909 in England, and a guy by the name of W.B. Boyce was visiting London, got lost in the fog. And this Boy Scout helped him out of the fog, and he liked the idea so much of what the Boy Scout was. In fact, he was doing a good deed, wouldn't take any money for it, that he came back and began the Boy Scouts here in America. And they've been rolling ever since, and like that. So I can actually see the Boy Scouts bringing the banner. You can hear the sheriffs and the city police cars with the sirens and everything, and playing music over their speakers. Nice to hear them say something other than pull over. those speakers like that.
Yeah.
Leading things off is the sheriff's department's pickup truck. It's a 4-door pickup. I've always thought that was the funniest police car you ever saw in your life.
They've got several of those.
They do. And
of course, they can go places in those they couldn't go in the cars.
That is true. And of course, driving the pickup truck is the high sheriff himself, Chris Davis. And Chris having fun throwing candy out, and he's having fun throwing candy out. It's pretty cool. And then right behind him is one of the standard police vehicles.
The
here.
City of Waverly police car.
Yeah, and I believe is that Chief Gillespie?
Yes.
Chief Gillespie is driving it, and he's throwing out candy. He's got an arm on him, boy. He's plastering those kids with that.
Oh yes.
And of course, right behind the Boy Scout banner there, and the sheriff and the police chief is the county executive, Mike Progreva, driving a classic Chevrolet pickup truck.
With Frosty the Snowman. He rolled his eyes and shook his head.
We were talking earlier, Frosty the Snowman was one of the songs that Gene Autry had written. He was one of his classics. And it's Jimmy Durante did the classic version and narrated the TV special as well. And, of course, right behind County Executive Mike Progreva is the classic fire engine that got out of City Hall. Buddy Frazier hanging on the back. And he's hung on the back of quite a few fire trucks in his day, and like that. The city mayor is great. I love that. What is that? Do you know what style that is?
It's probably an American LaFrance. Back at that time, that was about the only one on the market.
And the city of Waverly, of course, fire rescue truck, engine 7.
Yeah, well, they walk through, and there's Sparky, the fire dog.
And yeah, there he is. Right there. And they're loving the sirens out there, I tell you what. And, of course, here's, again, the Engine 6 from the Waverly Fire Department. And I think the Humphreys County Fire Department is coming up after them with Engine 21. Am I right?
Engine 21, yes. That's their new truck. They've had less than a year.
And it's it's got like a little water cannon on the back of it, doesn't it?
That's a deck gun.
It is?
If you look, cool. There's one on that one and one on that one.
Cool. This one looks bigger, though. I like that. But our fire equipment there, and, of course, the rescue pickup truck behind that. And, of course, is the city of New Johnsonville here today, Coach?
There's our Chiefs car and Engine 4 behind the Chiefs car. Chief Dale Allen and his car.
And I just want to point out to you, to those of y'all who are watching streaming live, you'll notice that how much prettier and detailed and shiny the New Johnsonville cars and police and fire engines are, because somebody was out cleaning the fire engine of the Chief's car overnight. Who was that, Coach?
I think it was Butch Snyder.
Yeah, he was out there by himself, doing it all by himself, right? Coach Bradford.
He might have had a little help.
Yeah, Coach Bradford was that. And that's a nice car. I hadn't seen that before. Is that new?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's about the same age of our engines, and it's got a full command center in the back.
Oh, really?
You know, where he can be on 2 or 3 different radios and set up an instant command. We could actually do a group command with the police department and other units out of that car.
Well, very cool. And, of course, bringing up the rear of our emergency vehicles is the rescue squad, the Humphreys County Rescue Squad as well. But we want to thank all our county and city officials for being here today. It was really kind of cool.
And the person driving Engine 4 is Chastity Hewitt. Mm-hmm. She's married to Mike Hewitt, but not this one.
Different Mike Hewitt, right?
Different Mike Hewitt.
And definitely might need to point that out. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you can hear in the background, which I'm pretty sure you can,
the Marching Tiger Pride
of Waverly Central High School. Is it Marching Pride? Is that what they are?
Yes, that's what they call themselves. The Tiger Marching Pride.
Very cool.
With band directors Joseph Bullington and Clint Rawls.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get to hear them play this year. For the last few years, they come by here, and that's when they do the timing step, and we don't get to hear them. So hopefully they'll be on mic this year and like that. So I always like to have the bands. How's the band doing this year? Have you heard how they're doing?
They're doing fairly well. They didn't go into any competitions. After 2 years off, it was, it's kind of like, what's going on? But they did a nice show.
I know they did halftime.
Had Leonard Skinner on it.
A halftime show. Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home. Wasn't playing Sweet Home Alabama, though. It was Freeburg, wasn't it?
They were playing Freeburg, and, here I go blank. And I did all their announcing. Hey, here they are playing for us.
And we're gonna listen just a little bit. The march, of course, the flag girls in front with candy canes. That's pretty cool. I like that. And of course, again, who they're in the direction of again, Coach?
Joseph Burlington is the head director. Assistant director is Clint Rawls, who is also the junior high music teacher and percussion line instructor.
Here they are in front of us and time step again. Just play for us, guys. Plus once. And of course, they got the Marching Pride band behind it. Yeah, the drums. There we go. Now we're hearing them. The band.
Yeah, their trailer that they haul stuff to competitions. And if you notice, it's still being rehabilitated after the flood filled it full of water.
Now, can you say Can you say Lincoln Continental?
Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, we got a classic Lincoln Continental, and
that one is nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a 68 or 69, and it is absolutely beautiful.
And that's sponsored by Morton's gas stations here in town.
And the big wide white walls on that was pretty cool. This is a recreation of the Griswolds, the Christmas Vacation with a big tree on top of the station wagon and dragging the dog. We kid you not. Again, by Morton's down there at the other end of town. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I have trouble
much.
with that too, because I taught Dusty when he was in Lakeview.
Oh no! And of course, up next is St. Vincent de Paul float. They are involved with a number of community charities and activities in McEwen up there, and they've got a float this year. And all little Santa Claus's elves popping candy off the back, and got Snoopy and Woodstock on the doghouse.
And Charlie Brown is dressed as Santa.
There you go. Now, Coach, who we got up next with Baby Miss Ferris?
Baby Miss Ferris of the fair. The car is provided by Hollinsworth,
which is
it's a Mustang convertible.
Yeah, I love the
Paxton
crown.
Ross.
Love the crown on Paxton. It's pretty cool. I like that. And then right behind him is the Rusty Roosters off-road vehicle, and like that, which is pretty cool. Rusty Rooster, one of our local restaurants here, and we appreciate them being in. And of course, one of my favorite organizations, the Vietnam Veterans, Chapter 1053. These guys were extremely involved with community activities after the flood. They were interactive with a lot of veterans here. Of course, the Vietnam Veterans were formed in January of 1978. There's a group of 15 veterans got together in Washington, D.C. and started the whole thing. And they've done extensive community work over the years. We appreciate our Vietnam veterans very much. And I love the little van there, and I love the classic truck coming up with them.
They got a nice Ram 1500.
And then, of course, they've got...
they got a deuce and a half.
And a classic one, too. I love that. And we appreciate the Vietnam veterans and all they've done here in Humphreys County. And following behind them is the Waverly
Junior High cheerleaders.
Yeah, and they're walking. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for them walking out there today.
They're supposed to be in shape. They're cheerleaders, you know.
Yeah. And like that. And of course, right behind the cheerleaders is a fantastic Jeep, and it's a Rubicon.
Yeah, you're the Jeep man.
That's right. It is a Rubicon. It's got the classic hood attachment out where it makes it look like the eyes are mad at you. It's really the headlights look like their eyes and are mad at you. It's pretty cool. And like that. Of course, with junior high cheerleaders, always a great to see them out here like that. Now we got to
Charlie Brown, Three Rivers Hospital.
Of course, Charlie Brown officially was born on October the 30th, and the year keeps moving because they don't want him to get older. It started off at 46, now it's up to 63.
And it's Charles Schultz's 100th anniversary.
This year it sure is. Of course, the big Christmas special, Charlie Brown's Christmas. It isn't on public television like it used to be, but always a classic thing. We love that.
But they did run 2 specials the other day.
They did.
The last 2 Sundays.
Now this is the Forbidden Shield. This is a motorcycle group, and they've got a gingerbread house, and they've got some. You want to hear some motorcycles now, buddy? This is motorcycles.
Yeah. My Honda is not that noisy.
No, but we got some flathead Harleys out there that are.
Oh yes.
I like this. I really do.
They're nice.
They really are.
And they got some little bitty ones sitting with their parents on them.
That is pretty cool. And some nice looking bikes. No Indians though. I always like the Indian motorcycles.
I know. If I ever get rich, I'm going to buy an Indian Chief.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I won't be able to ride it, but I can at least look at it in the driveway. It works out real well.
Oh, I will ride it.
Now here's the DTM Mobile Detailing. They come to your house and take care of your car. They're in a classic. They're in a Rubicon Jeep also. Looks like a 2018 or 19. And it is, again, these guys, they detail, and we appreciate them being there. They've done a good job of detailing that Jeep. Wow, look at the tires on that, Coach.
Oh, yes, and the guy driving it's one of my former soccer players.
Oh. Now we know where they went, Coach. Now we know where they went. And of course,
okay, Humphreys County Care and Rehab Float.
Right, which is used to be the Humphreys County Nursing Home out there. But they're care and rehab. That's the new buildings they have. They've got several of our residents are on the back of the float. riding in the parade, which I think is fantastic. And
I hope I've got them nice and warm.
I hope so too, but they're on there, and we appreciate everybody at Humphreys County Care and Rehab, the great job they do up there. And they're followed by 2 really good-looking dogs that are dressed up like reindeers. I love this.
Those nearly look like horses. They're Great Danes.
They're Great Danes, and they really look cool. And of course, Santa Vol truck. It is a Santa in all orange, and he's tossing out all kinds of stuffed animals and presents and things like that. It's really kind of cool. We like that. We appreciate it. Of course, Vols fans are going crazy, and
had their best year in ages.
You know, if you throw, he's throwing these things out, and you can tell who the Vandy fans are because when the animals come their direction, they run the other way, and they try to catch it. They drop them. The Milk Shakery are one of our local businesses just around the corner here. Great shakes.
Have you ever ate there?
No, I've not, and it's not on purpose. It just I've not had the opportunity to go by there.
Their milkshakes are fantastic.
Everybody tells me, of course, they're made with. You scoop out the ice cream.
They make them the real way, with ice cream and milk and an old-fashioned mixer.
I like that. And, of course, you want some glitter? You're going to have some glitter. Coming up next is Ms. Humphreys County, and she is in a I love this. Is that I cannot see. It looks like a BMW, but I'm not for sure. No, it's a Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz convertible. And, of course, that is
Elena Carmichael.
And she is decked out in the 9. She's in a sequined gown like this. And, of course, up next
Scooby-Doo
is Scooby-Doo. The Mighty Gay Theater is sponsoring. They're bringing Scooby-Doo with us. He's here. Of course, Scooby-Doo first popped up 1969. Continues to this day. They're still cranking out movies. And
looks like Shaggy's with him.
It does look like Shaggy. And, of course, the classic 4 teenagers, Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, Valerie Dinkley, and Norval Shaggy Rogers at Shaggy. And, of course, right behind them is the Shriners.
The Shriners.
The Shriners are here.
Get that big Harley out of there.
How did you get that Harley up in that diving board? And, of course, Ray Stevens' classic song, The Shriners. And these guys are really good. They do a lot of good. Shriners do a lot of good work. We appreciate them very much. And all they do, a lot of members here today.
And then we have Security Finance coming up.
Yeah, I like this because it's called a Jeep, but it's not really a Jeep. But it's a red. It's a Jeep, but it's dressed up like a reindeer. It's red with a red nose and antlers, and it's. I think it's a.
I mean, it's solid side and solid
Renegade.
Roof. It doesn't look like.
Yeah. It's a Jeep Renegade, is what it was, and it's beautiful. And that must have been detailed too, because it's shiny.
Oh yes,
it is there.
Shiny red car.
And again, you're listening to WQNV AM 1060 and 93.5 FM. Austin Taylor with you, Coach Larry Bradford, and today's parade is being brought to you by
Let This Be Said, Mayweather Lewis Electric Cooperative, Russian Company Realty, Shelter Insurance, local agent Saul Beard, Humphreys and Houston Soil Conservation District, First Bank, and East Hill Dealer Center. Thank you all for sponsoring today's parade.
And up next is United Methodist, Waverly United Methodist Church, and that's where we had the United Way auction
yes.
there.
They do a lot of things there.
They really do. And a lot of activities there for the community, and they have a nice little trailer with a sign on. They got the old sign from the church on the back of the trailer.
And you can't pick on Chris today.
No, he's not here today. I can't pick him. But now, about immediately following him, I'm not really for sure what
There's
we
Groot.
have. It's Groot. That's
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, which I'm not not really familiar with them, but they
it's
are.
It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, where are we at, Coach?
We're supposed to have Andy and Jessica Essery in a golf cart right behind Groot.
Groot passed him. He's so tall.
I am Groot. That's all he ever says.
That's it?
You got to understand, he means different things when he says it.
Okay. And here's one of the elongated golf carts. These are very popular up north. A lot of the northern cities, they in the smaller towns, they use the golf carts to get around and stuff like this.
You can put a whole foursome on that one. And
they have a place for your clubs. It's pretty cool. And it's a 6-passenger, dude, so pretty nice. I like that. We appreciate them coming down.
And it says Framley is coming up. A truck, a trailer, and more motorcycles.
More motorcycles. We like this. And we're coming. Sun's coming out here. Perfect temperature. You get in the Christmas mood, but no bad weather. And we're coming to you from downtown Waverly, Courthouse Square. We're on the steps here. You got a perfect position. Again, if you would like to watch the parade, you can go to Facebook, the Michael K. Hewitt.
Hewitt.
Michael K. Hewitt, Facebook. He's streaming it live there. Now, the vocals, you'll have to listen to the radio station, but he's streaming it live there. And then later he will post a whole mix with our vocals and everything on the Facebook page. So tune in here and watch some of these great floats go by. And, Coach, who do you say this was again?
This is Framley.
Framley.
They've got a nice 4x4 pull in it.
And they are definitely they're throwing out stuffed animals and stuff like that, and candy. Can't beat that. And everybody's dressed up in the holiday garb. Kind of cool. But I love the motorcycles. Not only got a motorcycle, they also got a little dune buggy back there, if I'm seeing correctly, with a big old bear in it.
A teddy bear.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I like this. The guy driving the motorcycle is dressed up as Santa. He didn't have to have an artificial beard either.
No, he didn't have to have an artificial beard. He just had.
Oh, nice.
We were talking.
There you go. I like that.
Yes.
And they're a nice little go-kart, a nice little dune buggy, too. I like that. It's really kind of cool. Now, up behind her is...
Josephine Ravelis.
Yeah.
That's Tequila John's daughter.
Yep.
And again, another one of my soccer players.
There you go. And
most of the people in the parade.
And she's riding in a 2017 Corvette convertible. And nice color in that one, too. It's a vintage color. I like that. It's pretty cool. She could have thrown out tacos. I would have been a lot more happier with the candy. Like that.
Tacos, the chips and their dip. They have their own dip. It's really good.
Really? Now, next float is from Force Athletics. They are a tumbling troop located here in Waverly. You can be a part of. They offer tumbling from 2 years old and up, and they got a bunch of the 2 years old on the trailers back there with gingerbread men. Pretty cool. And they're followed by the older members who are tumbling in the middle of the street. And I'm just sitting here going, they're going to break something. I know it.
Yeah, don't you wish you could do that?
Yeah, well,
I have trouble rolling over.
It's because I used to do stuff like that, but not on purpose, simply falling downstairs, that I can't move around today.
The instructor's Casey Nichols.
And does a good job. The kids are there you go, standing a little pyramid. They got a little going down the road carrying another kid. Pretty cool.
Training to be cheerleaders.
There you go. Very good. And in a few moments, we've got Elmo. Everybody knows Elmo. Elmo, of course, is the Red Muppet monster character, a long-running PBS on the series Sesame Street, also had other specials as well. And Elmo is known for his falsetto voice, and he talks in third person all the time.
Ooh, me like cookies.
Yes, and he has, believe it or not, he also has a Christmas special coming up.
And this is sponsored by Memories and Marmalade out of McEwen.
And he holds the record. He's one of the most best-selling Christmas items of all time.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Tickle Me Elmo. You got that right. And Pisgah United Methodist Church is up next with a nice little trailer pulled by a Silverado black pickup truck.
Got Christmas packages all over it, and looks like a Christmas cake.
I like that. It's pretty cool. And then, Jeeps. We've got Jeeps. I love it. It's the Jeeps of Humphreys County Club. And we got some classic Jeeps. Jeeps, of course, began as a World War II utility vehicle, and these people fell in love with them after the war.
They reconnaissance car, and they got the name Jeep because the military, as usual, abbreviated things. It was a general purpose vehicle, so they called it GP.
Yeah, a Jeep.
And it evolved into Jeep.
Of course, the best selling of all the Jeeps was the Wrangler, which is the latest version. But before that, there was a CJ, and there was which was a civilian version of the civilian Jeep, and things like that. And they're still one of the best selling vehicles in the world, longest running continual line. Went through several companies, but Chrysler has them at the moment. Does an excellent job. And of course, I'm a classic Jeep guy. I want to have round headlights, but you can tell the Jeeps from the 70s and the late 80s because they got the square headlights.
The other day they had a picture on Facebook of somebody had found a World War II Jeep still in the crate.
Oh yeah.
I would love to get a hold of one of those.
I had an uncle over in Missouri that bought one of those, and you have to put them together, but you bought them in the crate, war surplus, and they were fantastic. And he used it as a farm vehicle for years and years and years.
Yeah, they even used them to pull plows and disc and stuff with after World War II.
You could hook up a transfer on and run a drill, put a fence post up and stuff like this. And now we got Shane Stilley, which is Stilley Kennels. They do boarding of dogs. Another local business here, and they got some really cool. They got a big old dog in the back, but they got a little cute dog. Looks like he's driving the truck. I like
Miss Santa Claus is helping.
With a little lap dog. It's pretty cool. I like that. And Coach, who's behind them?
Behind them, we have Bright Beginnings. Established in 2018 by Adrienne Crow, Bright Beginnings Daycare is a non-denominational child care facility in McEwen, Tennessee.
And they are licensed by the state of Tennessee.
Licensed.
And I like they got all the little classic characters on the back of the with a pink Christmas tree. Looks like Dr. Seuss went wild. Is what it looks like.
Little gremlins.
Yeah, I like
because they're
it.
green.
And of course, coming up, we've got a truck that we've seen a lot around Humphreys County since the flood, which is ProClean. They do a lot of power washing and things like that, and cleaning like that, and they've been busy in the last year or so. And of course, they're family owned and operated.
And they had, like you said, they have been staying busy. Of course, behind that is a nice classic car, even though it is a Chevrolet.
And 1951.
Little Miss Music City.
Yeah, she is, and she is little. But they got a sleigh in the
Tiny,
back.
probably what, 4 or 5?
4 or 5. Got a sleigh built in the back from Hillbilly Farms, the 51 Chevy. Got a sleigh back there, and it's absolutely fantastic and pretty cool. And right behind them is
and her name is Audrey Carmichael.
Yeah. And she is Audrey Carmichael. And then right behind them we've got
Magnolia Place.
Magnolia Place with a big record. They got the citizens of Magnolia Place there, and rocking around the Christmas tree. Got a big jukebox and a Christmas tree, the whole 9 yards. And that's the theme of WQMV's Christmas tree this year at the Christmas tree hall going on at the state park down in New Johnsonville. They have the open house tomorrow to unveil all the Christmas trees down there.
Little Miss Dynamite.
Yeah, Brenda Lee, and that's our theme this year, is rocking around the Christmas tree. Pretty cool. And we appreciate everyone at Magnolia Place for doing that. And more Jeeps. I love Jeeps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know.
Waverly Elks Lodge.
Yeah, we miss Ferris to the fair.
And
right behind them.
Yes, she is. Got the Waverly's Elks Lodge there, looks like. And, Waverly Elks Lodge at 2289. They're in the game. And then we miss Ferris. They got a lot of Ferris to the fairs, don't they?
She's in a Volkswagen convertible.
Yes, she is. And it looks like, is it a bug? Is it a bug? Yes, I think
it's one of the newer bugs.
Newer bugs, yeah. Pretty cool.
Volkswagen was the brainchild of Adolf Hitler.
Yes, he was. Yes,
the Volkswagen or the
folks,
family wagon.
Because they didn't think the Nazi car would go along.
No, not well at all.
Yeah. But by the way, the Elks Lodge meets every first Thursday of every March, except for March and February.
Oh, here's some people I saw the other day out with the bulldozers. The Tennessee Division of Forestry.
Forestry Division with Smokey the Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
And officially, his name is Smokey the Bear, not Smokey Bear, the Smokey the Bear.
And because they found a little bear cub that had been burned in a forest fire.
And he became the symbol for the Forestry Division. And he's the longest-running symbol, the longest-running mascot of any mascot by the federal government.
And he's in a log house.
I like that. And up
Humphreys
next,
County 4-H.
And they got a nice little truck.
Oh, where's your co-host on this one?
I don't see her. Yeah, but look at the little Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, a walking Christmas tree.
I like that. It's pretty cool.
And behind that we have the Boy Scouts Troop 2.
And this is a nice semi pulling a trailer with all the little Boy Scouts on there. And it is Troop, you're right, it's what?
It's Troop 2.
Troop 2, very good.
That looks like a classic.
It is, and I like when they honk the horn. That's cool. And of course, behind them is another
trailer just with the Boy Scouts.
Right, and I think it's a Kenworth. It's a Kenworth.
That's
cab.
about what, a 72?
72, maybe
like that.
Maybe 68 earlier than that. But it's a classic Kenworth, and rolling behind that. And behind that, we've got the American Legion, and of course the American Legion truck, and it is providing transportation for Kermit the Frog.
It's nice being green.
Kermit was the first puppet created by Jim Henson back in 1955. And by the way, here's a piece of trivia for you. Kermit the Frog has 2 songs that charted on the Hot 100. Do you know what they are without checking your notes, Coach?
Well, one of them was being green that I just talked about.
Right, which is Tough Being Green. The other one was Rainbow Connection from the movie. Both of them charted in the top 40. Not bad at all. American Legion.
And look at their flags, all the service flags on their trailer.
I'm sorry, I just saw the Air Force one. Do they have the other ones up there too?
Oh, you mean that one's there?
Yeah.
Well, they got the important ones, the Army and the Marines.
We got the junior miss.
There's junior Miss Tennessee, Hannah Wilson.
As a coach and I go into a fist fight in the middle of the parade there. And, of course, behind them is, I think it's National Elite Miss. Is it?
Looks like Courtney
Wilson. Courtney Wilson.
Then we got a three-wheel motorcycle.
And
that's 3/4 of a car.
There you go. Couldn't afford that fourth wheel. But this is Robin Blues Group, the coming up in a few months with the classic.
Here's Humphreys County Tiny Queen Oakley Self,
and she's on top. She's in the sunroof of a Suburban. Pretty cool. They got the antique tractors.
That is a nice old farmall.
Yeah. Of course, if you are into antique tractors, we have a organization right here in Humphreys County that does that. And of course,
it says 5 tractors. I see one.
I see one.
I've got 2 in my house.
We may have some broke down tractors along the route. And then we've got
Volker Salvage
and U-Haul. They're a U-Haul dealer, a local U-Haul dealer.
And a motorcycle repair place.
Yeah. And they have a good crisp business. And of course, if you break down, maybe this is where the tractors are, because we've got R&D towing coming up next, and they got
and that's a 60 model Ford.
That is
Wrecker.
And
that's an old one.
You don't see those too many.
Of course, he's hauling around a Kubota ATV. So,
and then behind that we've got another one of their vehicles.
That's the newer one.
Yeah.
Rollback.
And pretty cool. And we're getting close, because right behind them we've got Ferris of the Fair Beauty Elite coming up.
And a Thunderbird convertible. A nice red T-Bird.
Red T-Bird, the classic convertible. And, of course, I think I see somebody in red. Is that Santa? It is.
Being pulled by some mules.
Yeah, this year he's being pulled by 2 mule power. Rudolph is on strike, so they brought in the mules.
Well, I mean, we got a beautiful sunny day. He doesn't need Rudolph today.
That's true. And but Santa is being provided transportation by whom there, Coach? Can you see that?
Looks like ODLE, Odell Farm. And Jeff and Cindy Odell.
And fantastic. And, of course, behind them is our classic horses. How come they never put the band behind the horses, Coach? I don't understand that.
I had to march behind the horses in the Cherry Blossom Parade back in the late 60s, and it's no fun.
Well, listen.
White shoes don't stay white.
I can imagine. Beautiful, beautiful horses, by the way. And we appreciate the riders and stuff like that. And that wraps up the parade. We appreciate a good parade this year. We want to thank the Humphreys County Chamber of Commerce for organizing it, as they do every year, and all the participants and everybody who put together the floats and the different vehicles, because it's been really important. Coach, are you ready for the holiday season?
I haven't gotten that mood yet. I'm going to have to get there.
Yeah, to me, it still feels a little early, but everybody, But then again, they've been running Hallmark movies, like I mentioned earlier, since before Halloween. So
nothing till after Thanksgiving.
There you go.
And then I have to get geared up for it.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. That's a pretty good parade. It lasts about 35 minutes. That's pretty good this year.
Oh, yes. It's improving. After the COVID and the flood and everything, it's nice to be getting things back to normal.
It is nice.
And we got a fairly decent crowd down here at Court Square.
Yeah, we actually do. We appreciate everybody coming out. And the sun came out at the very end of it. It was beautiful. And once again, we want to thank all our sponsors. Run down the whole list, if you don't mind.
DSC Auto Parts, Eastbrook Animal Clinic, Camores, Apex Bank, Humphreys County Fuel Home, Family Dollar Store, Humphreys County Utility District, Lance's Pizza, Mayweather Lewis Electric Cooperative, Brush and Company Realty, Shelter Insurance, your local agent, Saul Beard, Humphreys and Houston County Soil Conservation District, First Bank, and East Hill Dealsters. Thank you all for sponsoring today's parade.
And we want to thank all our listeners for tuning in. Again, we want to remind you can go to the Facebook page of Michael K. Hewitt. He will have the entire parade there for you to watch. That'll be posted up later this weekend. And we appreciate Michael doing a great job with us once again and filming everything for us. Coach, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Everybody needs to have a happy and blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And enjoy life.
And keep it safe, everybody. Until next time around, for Danelle, for Coach Bradford, myself, and everyone here at WQNV, want to thank you for the great job that the parade did out here. I want to thank you for listening to us, making us such a very popular radio station. And until next time, take care, my friends. God bless. We'll see ya down the road. Merry Christmas. Magnolia Play.